Hi everyone, with this video I really want to help you to plan your wedding smoothly without any regrets afterwards. So we always question the question where to start planning our wedding. And I will always tell you, start it with the guest list. Really, it's such an important thing to think about your guests in advance, how many people you're actually gonna invite, because you can't book your venue in advance before you know how many people are invited and how many are actually gonna come or gonna travel to your wedding. So think about your guest list first, about people you really want to invite. Start with it. When you know more or less the number of people you are planning the wedding for, of course the next step is look for the venue. And venue decides everything, your style, the style of your wedding. Location is very important, like is it gonna be a destination wedding? Are your guests going to travel to this venue or not? Do you need to book some accommodations for them? So venue is really the key and core of your wedding. So you have to take this step really serious. During your first visit to the venue, take notes. Ideally, you come prepared to your first venue visit with a list of questions you're gonna ask and really take notes. Take your time, plan 2-3 hours to visit one place so that you could clear up everything, that you get all your questions answered during your first visit. And if you select the venue, don't hesitate to basically sign the agreement or contract immediately, because venue is such a big thing, and if someone else books this venue while you were looking for another one, you're gonna regret. So sign the agreement, but before signing it, another tip would be read really carefully and check everything you agreed on, so that everything is included in the agreement and then you don't need to question anything later on. If your guests are gonna travel, think about their accommodations and negotiate with the venue regarding the rooms they could provide for the guests. Normally they do the discounts, or you pay the same price but you get a better rooms. So it's really a thing and you have to think about it in advance, because if it's a hotel and you have a venue in the hotel for your celebration, it doesn't necessarily mean that the rooms will be still available 1 or 2 months before your celebration. So think about it in advance. And don't forget to book the rooms for yourself, because it would be much easier for you than to get ready in the morning. You could relax much more, and also afterwards you will have a place where you could come back and check all your presents. You know, it's really, from my side, highly recommended to have the room for you and your future husband the night before and after the wedding celebration. During your wedding preparation, please make a color palette so that everything matched and looks nicely in the end of your project, because wedding is like a project, right? So the venue, of course, dictates already some colors. Unless you have a really talented and well-skilled decorator and you're also ready to invest to rebuild the place where you're going to celebrate, basically the venue dictates, of course, some colors already. And why not taking it as a main one and then build upon of it to add some that matched good and that you like, and then bring all these colors through the whole wedding planning process, because you will use this color palette for your dress, for your look, for your nail polish, for some accessories, for small things, for decorations, for flowers, for bouquet, for your bridesmaid dresses, for anything basically what would be part of your wedding day celebration, starting from the invitations up to the final speech, where you might want or not, for example, to use some fireworks or something different. Tip number 5, book vendors in advance. The sooner the better, but of course first comes, first serves. And don't forget that photographer and videographer, normally, if you want to get a really good job done, they are 2 separate people. Don't look for one person who might promise you it would be cheaper, but in the end you might regret. So ideally, photographer, videographer, it's 2 different people. And don't forget about wedding coordinator. If you're organizing the wedding by yourself, which I personally believe is doable, and I did it personally as well, and I enjoyed the process. But for the day of your wedding, take wedding coordinator so that your guests and your families could always also relax, and you would not need to ask them for something or to do something or to be responsible for something. So think about wedding coordinator who you could instruct in advance and who would do all the things and steps you would do during the wedding day, but he or she would do on your behalf. Decorations. They can be reused between reception, ceremony, and wedding dinner decorations. So if you want to save a bit of money, think about in advance how you want to split your decorations. If you have an outdoor ceremony and there maybe you would use some vases for the place to decorate, where would you say yes to each other? Think about you reusing these flowers to decorate the place during your dinner, wedding dinner. Or you could use them for some, photo shooting area later on. So decor really can be reusable, and don't neglect it. Don't hesitate to think about it in advance and to implement it. Also, a small part, don't forget about umbrellas and blankets, since they are essential and you might need them during the wedding planning, and book them in advance. Tip number 7, guest list is defined. Think about book with wishes. It's normally the thing that all guests really like to participate and to leave some wishes for you. The thing is, for my wedding in particular, I couldn't find the one that I would like from Stylist, but if you also don't really like what is sold nowadays, you could do one by yourself, and that's what I did. And I found personally that's a great idea if you collect pictures of you as a couple, and then you print a book based on it, but leave in some spaces so that your guests could pick up the picture they most like, or maybe you include also the pictures with your future guests, and then write a few words, few wishes for you and your future husband. And in such a way, the guest book is gonna be much more personal, and I'm sure you will enjoy reading it later on and looking at the pictures with or without your guests. A few words about hair and makeup. Please book the stylist in advance, but this I already told. I don't want to emphasize it more, but I have to, because it's such a thing. All your pictures and videos will include your look, so you really need to like it. And how would you like it if you don't know what to expect? So please do some trials, and do real trials, not just when you come to the stylist and you discuss how it might look like, how she sees you, maybe you show some pictures, but really get ones ready as it would be during the wedding day. And ideally book a photo shooting afterwards, the same day after your day trial, after your makeup trial, because then you can check how it looks in the pictures, your style. It's not just the same feeling when you look in the pictures with your makeup and when you look in the mirror with your makeup. It could be two completely different feelings in the end. So my advice would be the following. Choose your stylist in advance, book some real trials together with the photo shooting afterwards, because you will have these nice pictures of you and your beloved one, and you could use them, for example, to prepare your guest book. I think this is a nice idea. What do you think? I also highly recommend to think about live music or band, at least for the ceremony. I know they add some expenses on your budget list, but it really makes a difference if you have not just a DJ, but a real live music, at least for the ceremony, especially if you do outdoor ceremony. Think about it. While preparing your wedding or planning for your wedding, don't forget to buy shoes in advance and wear them before the wedding, and wear them like a lot, because new shoes, they tend to be not that comfortable first time you wear them. So just avoid this painful feeling in the end of the day or regret regarding your shoes. Buy them in advance and wear them, please, before the wedding. They should not be completely new, just the opposite. They have to be very, very comfortable during your wedding day. And tip number 11 in my list, which is the last one. Think about your guests, but never forget, it's your day, and do what you really like, what you really want, and not what you think your guests would be happy about. Because in the end, if you will be happy, then your guests will be happy too. So yes, think about yourself first. I wish you a really smooth and nice wedding preparation. Enjoy this very special time, and let me know if you have any questions regarding wedding planning, or if you wish I film a particular video about a particular topic for you. I would be really happy to help you. See you in the next videos very soon. Bye bye.